Chapter 8. Early Life of Lucy Mack, Her Marriage with Joseph Smith. I shall now introduce the history of my own life. I was born in the town of Gilsum, Cheshire County, State of New Hampshire, on the 8th of July, 1776. When I arrived at the age of 8 years, my mother had a severe fit of sickness. She was so low that she, as well as her friends, entirely despaired of her recovery. During this sickness she called her children around her bed, and after exhorting them always to remember the instructions which she had given them, to fear God and walk uprightly before Him, she gave me to my brother Stephen, requesting him to take care of me and bring me up as his own child, then bade each of us farewell. This my brother promised to do, but as my mother shortly recovered, it was not necessary, and I, consequently, remained at my father's house until my sister Louisa was married. Some time after this event, I went to South Hadley to pay Louisa, who was living there, a visit. I returned home to my parents in about 6 months, and remained with them in Gilsum until the death of Louisa. Soon after which, my brother Stephen, who was living at Tunbridge, Vermont, came to my father's on a visit, and he insisted so earnestly on my accompanying him home that my parents consented. The grief occasioned by the death of Louisa was preying upon my health, and threatened my constitution with serious injury, and they hoped that to accompany my brother home might serve to divert my mind, and thus prove a benefit to me. For I was pensive and melancholy, and often in my reflections I thought that life was not worth possessing. In the midst of this anxiety of mind, I determined to obtain that which I had heard spoken so much of from the pulpit, a change of heart. To accomplish this, I spent much of my time reading the Bible and praying, but notwithstanding my great anxiety to experience a change of heart, another matter would always interpose in all my meditations. If I remain a member of no church, all religious people will say I am of the world. And if I join some one of the different denominations, all the rest will say I am in error. No church will admit that I am right, except the one with which I am associated. This makes them witnesses against each other, and how can I decide in such a case as this, seeing they are all unlike the Church of Christ as it existed in former days? While I remained at Tunbridge, I became acquainted with a young man by the name of Joseph Smith, to whom I was subsequently married. I continued with my brother 1 year, then went home. I was at home but a short time when my brother came after me again, and insisted so hard upon my returning with him that I concluded to do so, and this time I remained with him until I was married, which took place the next January.